belonging cues is the answer. So there were patients admitted to the hospital after a suicide attempt. Half of them received postcards after being released. Over the next 2 years, the group that received the postcards were readmitted at half the rate compared to the control group. So this simple letter literally reduced the amount of people that came back by 50%, which is insane. Next is, for example, you want to check in with your employees. Tell the truth, no BS, high volume of truth telling. 2, you want to love your employees to death. Care for them. 3, travel with them. Get to know their families. Talk about everything under the sun except for work. Talk and discuss about worldwide issues, gay marriage, terrorism, finance. There are bigger things to business to which we are all connected to. And you want to ask and listen to the type of foods they like, make suggestions, make reservations. Next is, these are 2 important qualities that you want to have when you're trying to do these belonging activities. 1 is warmth. Make people feel cared for. Be fatherly or motherly. And 2, you want to have relentless curiosity. Full of ideas, full of questions. Draw people out and get them thinking. Now, successful companies sort of also use belonging cues for their customers. For example, successful restaurants, they give off a feeling of warmth, connective feeling that they create. They make you feel like you're at home when you're at the restaurant. You walk in and you feel like you're being cared for. Radiates from your surrounding, the food, and most of all from the people that work there. Another thing is you want to embrace the use of catchphrases that are only known within your company. It's like an insider joke thing. The goal is to create an internal language. It adds clarity and it creates an insider function where when you guys are using these sort of inside catchphrases, it's like, hey, you're part of the squad, only we know what this means. And the last thing is personal emotional connection KPI. Zappos call centers, old KPI was calls handled per hour, you know, like how many calls can you go through per hour. But this led to a lot of haste and brevity where people were just like knocking one client after another. They didn't really care for the customers. So they introduced this new KPI called personal emotional connections, PECs. Create a bond outside of the conversation about the product. It is impossible to measure PECs, like you can't really quantitatively do that. But the goal is to create awareness and alignment and direct behavior towards the group mission. Just by having this KPI there, people now know that it is more important to create personal connections with your customers. So when a customer service spend a company record of 10 hours and 30 minutes on a call, Zappos celebrated and sent it out for a press release. So you want to reward these type of behaviors, and that's sort of how you build your team up. But yeah, that's sort of how I use belonging cues to really strengthen my team, get to know each member, get them to enjoy and love working as a team. And it's insane. Like when you do that, employees want to work for you forever. They understand your mission, they understand where you're coming from. There's this connection where it's like you're not working for this sort of black and white figure, but you're working for an actual person that you can relate with and you understand their vision, and eventually it becomes your own vision.